is as royal as violet and as rich as blue. Because I introduce to you Toastmaster Ajinkya for AC Project 2 Storytelling. Toastmaster Ajinkya. Toastmaster Ajinkya, the flower of integrity.
Three things cannot be counted: the sun, the moon, and the twelve. A very colorful good morning, full of views good morning. I am Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters in the audience. I am Toastmaster Ajinkya, and today I am not here to deliver a speech, but to tell you all a story. A story of you, a story of me, a story of values we bear to see, portraying fictional characters and real emotions, a story of integrity and devotion. So are you all ready to listen to the story?
Yes!
Let's do this. Just like any other story, even this story starts with once upon a time, in a land far, far beyond our imagination, there was a kingdom that was known for justice, peace, and solidarity. Of course, it had a mighty noble king, and of course, it had a gracious, majestic queen. Later, the kingdom was bestowed by a divine blessing, a blessing that came with big blue sparkling eyes, soft chubby cheeks, and a dazzling smile that nobody could resist to see. With royal blood running through his veins, he was indeed the prince of the kingdom. For years, the people in the kingdom rejoiced with ecstasy. With celebrations and happiness all around, the kingdom became very lively. But little did they know that those happy days wouldn't last for long. Because beneath those crowns of celebrations lingered a realm of sorrow and misery, creeping through every corner, smeared across the kingdom like an atrocious curse by the unknown. As a result, a series of unfortunate events plagued the kingdom, with catastrophic wars and battles causing chaos all around. The kingdom, once known for peace and solidarity, was now suffering through horrific tragedies. So in order to save the kingdom, the king and the queen had to sacrifice the last breath of their lives. The war was finally over, yet not a happy face could be seen. The responsibility of the kingdom now rested on the shoulders of the young prince, but he was no less than his father, perhaps a little more wiser. There was a tradition in the kingdom that if the prince wanted to be crowned as the emperor, then he has to get married. And he agreed upon it. He wanted a young girl who would bring back the lost happiness of the kingdom, a girl with the heart of gold. Invitations were sent to all the kingdoms. Announcements were made in every village so as to gather the girls who are willing to marry the prince. In one such small neighboring village lived a poor young girl who nurtured a deep-rooted love for the prince. Although she had never seen the prince, but the stories of his bravery fascinated her. So coming to know about the gathering, she decided that she will attend it, as it would be her only chance to see the prince. Finally, the colossal day had arrived, and the poor girl took the best outfit she had, even though it was ripped from the edges, but she wore it very proudly and left to go to the palace. As soon as she reached the arena, she was staggered to see the gathering. So many girls from all over the kingdom, belonging to rich families, dressed in meticulously designed gowns covered with shimmering jewelry. The poor girl relentlessly gazed at her co-workers, but still managed to summon up a smile. Now the arena was as crowded as chickens in a cluster, with hustle and bustle all around. A loud horn rang, and there he was, walking tall towards the platform with his shiny gold armor, surrounded by army, leading the train. Yes, he was the prince. He walked to the platform and stood there motionless. There was pin-drop silence everywhere. All eyes were on him. He later announced, "I have a small gift for the ladies. Please come and accept it." One by one went every girl to accept the gift. The poor girl, standing in the queue, was very anxious to know as what was that gift. As her turn was coming closer, a sudden sense of fear ran chill of an icy wind. But still, she managed to gather the courage, walk forth, and accept it. Later, the prince announced, "You all have been given a very special gift, a seed. After exactly 6 months' time, the girl who will be the loveliest flower shall be my wife." Saying this, he left. The poor girl was exhilarated with joy. She rushed to her home, took a pot, got the best soil from her farmer's land, so gently sowed the seed into the pot. From dusk to dawn, she nurtured the seed like a baby, poured all her unconditional love, and at most caring to it, watered it daily. She believed that if her love is true, then a flower will bloom as large as the love for the prince. The 3 months had passed, and nothing had grown into the pot, not even a single shoot. With each passing day, her hope and determination seemed to have been farther away. But she did not give up. She did every possible thing she could, but nothing really worked. At last, 6 months had passed, and the momentous day had finally arrived. The poor girl felt miserable seeing the barren pot. She felt she wasn't worthy and all her hard work was futile. But still, that little amount of hope inside of her carried her to the palace. Reaching the arena, she was stunned to see the crowd. So many ladies walking with pots, with flowers. And those were not just flowers, my dear. Those were magnificent miracles of nature, as if they were painted with vibrant colors. Some were as bright as saffron yellow, some were as rich as lilac sky, and some were as unique as turquoise blue. With soft, tender petals and lush green leaves, made everyone anxious as who should be the chosen one. The poor girl looked at her pot with regret and despair, felt humiliated and ashamed, hence her tears of shame. The prince arrived. He inspected each and every pot very rigorously. He went to the poor girl, looked at her barren pot, held her hand, took her to the platform and announced, "She will be the queen of the kingdom." This made all the other ladies very furious about the decision. There was chaos all around. They wanted an explanation. The king said, "This young girl is the only one who cultivated the flower that makes her worthy of becoming the queen, the flower of integrity. All the seeds that are handed out were stern, and nothing could have grown from them." The other girls understood that mistake, felt humiliated and ashamed. Now the tears of shame of the poor girl turned into tears of joy that illuminated her eyes and jewels. And thus came back the lost happiness of the kingdom, and the king and the queen lived happily ever after. So just like the story, if this poor girl can cultivate the flower of integrity in a barren pot, then we sure can cultivate this flower in our hearts. We can we?
Yes.
Only if we try. And when you really try and look deep down inside your heart, you'll see a flower bloom. A flower no less than an extraordinary flower, but a flower of integrity.